So welcome everybody. So I thought tonight we would do some energy sensing. So I've been working a little bit with this in class with people, but we'll start with pranayama and then we'll go through some techniques to that kind of shift our sensory awareness. And our eyes are always linked to the outside world, so we're sensing, things through our sight that is external, but actually we have an inner sight. And in order to really work with the inner sight, you need to learn how to switch inwards so that the hands and our third eye become the way to view it. So we'll work with that. And there is I've got a really beautiful reference from the Vijnana Tantra, which is the course that starts online in October, which is really for anybody who just loves yoga and wants to embrace some of the tantric teachings, which kind of has their basis in sort of what we would probably call shamanic type work, sort of more esoteric energy work. And it's sort of just a way to, it kind of gives you a way to embrace life, which is nice. So we'll start with the quote and I'll use it a few more times in the practice. So let's just close our eyes before we do our usual releasing through the body. Take a deep breath in and have a sigh out. And again. And once more. So just keep the eyes closed. So this particular yukti verse is describing how we can sense into our energetic field. So trace the river of life that flows through you, the luxurious rising energies, gradually touching each of the centers along the spine. So the centers are the chakras they're talking about. Savor every shimmer of color along the way. Enter each area tenderly, lovingly as you go, and finally, gently dissolving in the crown of the head. Then above, in the space above the head, the great dawn. So essentially what it's describing is when we come into the world, we have this higher self here, and it travels down through the body and separates into denser layers into what we know as the chakras. And often, so this is the chakras as well. This is a really beautiful handmade banner from an organization in India. But we often imagine that they're inside our body, these big circular spinning discs. Actually, the discs are like a vortex. If you imagine a funnel about here, so the lip of the funnel is outside of the body, and then eventually it gets thinner and thinner like a whirlpool, and it's a tiny little sort of thread of light that connects inwards to the our electrical field, which is the nervous system. And at each point in the body, sort of third eye, throat, heart space, navel, down near the sort of lower down above the pubic bone, and then much further down, it links into the plexuses of the body. So this is where the spirit connects into the physical body. So we're going to work a little bit with this tonight. So let's just start with a bit of release for the physical body. So let's turn to the right and just taking a twist. And as you exhale, squeeze a bit deeper. Then let's go the other way. Back to center. Let's take our hands to our shoulders. Bring the elbows together. Take a deep breath in. Let's interlace our fingers. Inhale, bring the hands up towards the throat. Exhale, push them down. As you inhale, bring them forwards and up. Exhale. Inhale. We're just using this movement to open the heart energy. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Just do a few more in your own time. Let the eyes close, or connect your awareness into the center of the chest. And just release. So bring the hands into the lap. Just let the thumbs touch. So we'll start off with some simple breath awareness, then we'll move into some pranayama, and then we'll move into some energy body work. So with the eyes closed, just become aware of the breath at the tip of the nose. Notice that even on a warm night, it's actually quite cool as you draw it in. And then as the breath comes back out, it's slightly warmer. And also take a moment to notice if one nostril is more dominant than the other. And I want you to place your attention on the least dominant nostril. So as we know that energy follows thought. So if you focus on the nostril that is least dominant, eventually the pranic energy, the flow, will become balanced in the nostrils. And then when you get that point of balance, bring your attention back to the tip of the nose. Good. Now start to become aware of the breath as it moves from the nose down through the trachea, so the windpipe, into the lungs, Notice how the breath expands the ribs as the lungs expand. And then you can feel that downward pressure of the diaphragm. So we can only feel the diaphragm muscle by inferred movement. So on that full inhalation, the diaphragm pushes down towards the visceral organs, and that's when we feel the effect of the abdominal breath. And then simply follow that process all the way back out. Notice when the mind wanders off on the usual stuff, but bring it back. And the way to train the mind is just keep bringing it back. So no matter how many times the mind wanders off, just bring it back to the breath, bring it back to the breath and the sensation of it moving through the body vehicle. Lovely. So let's start to work with the nice basic practice. So no matter how advanced you are in pranayama or yoga, it's always great to come back to Sukha Pranayama. So I'm going to breathe in for a count of 4. And breathe out for 4. And again. Let's increase the count to 5. Lovely. Increase the count to 7. 6, sorry. We jumped one there. Go to 6. So when we start to move towards these higher counts, 4 and 5 are relatively simple. But as you move a little bit higher, remember, you're not breathing in for more necessarily. You're just slowing the breath down. And when we slow the breath down, that's how we start to control the fluctuations of the mind, which is the second sutra of Patanjali, which is Yoga Chittavrita Nirodha. So the purpose of yoga is to still the fluctuations of the mind. All the extra stuff that we do, the bending over and doing all the fancy posture work. It's to enable us to release trapped energy from the physical body and ultimately the energetic field, and then allow ourselves to go deeper and deeper into our awareness of who we truly are, which is not the biological vehicle. That's our car this time round, and we're the soul. So breathing in for 6. Breathing out for 6. And again, as you increase the count, the sound of the breath becomes much quieter. Okay, let's increase the count to 7. And again, one of the other things that happens as you increase the count is you need to focus more. It's really easy to just let the mind wander off. And when that happens, you can't really remember what the count is, or you go back into an old breath pattern that's too quick. So just keep the mind focused on slowing the breath down. Lovely. Then finally, I'm going to breathe in and out for 8. And remember, if you really struggle and it's just too much, then drop to a lower count. It's not a competition. So slow things down, really concentrate on the tip of the nose, breathing in for 8. Breathing out for 8. Good. Now release the count. I need to bring the hands to Namaste at the heart space. So as we move into the energy sensing, I want you to try and keep the eyes closed and sort of use my description of where you're going to place the hands. So we'll do the switching into the inner landscape practice with the eyes, and then keeping the eyes closed, we're going to work with some breath movement, which is just moving the hands up and down. So you're feeling the energy field that your energetic field moves out to. So it's known as the Dwadishanta in tantric practice. And Dwada means 12, so it's about 12 inches out of the body or fingers width. So you can kind of measure it like that, and it's put your hands like that. And it's about here. So let's start with the eyes closed. So what I want you to do is I want you to move your eyes with the eyes closed from left to right. Don't move the head, just the eyeballs, left to right, left to right. Good. Now keep them looking towards the left. You're going to draw a big circle up and over to the right and back round. And again. And again. And again. Good. Now go the other way. Go over to the right and down the other way. Good. Now go the other way again. So you're essentially drawing a circle with your eyes, one way and then the other. Good. And then last one, go the other way. Lovely. Now keep your eyes closed. Bring the hands out to the side and shake them rapidly. We can do it for about 30 seconds. Good. Now just let them go limp. And you'll feel a really quite an intense tingling sensation. Let the hands come back towards each other. At this time, just let the fingertips touch. So they find each other, keep the eyes closed. And there's a bit of a gap between the fingers themselves, sort of the edge of the length of the fingers, but the fingertips are touching. I want you to start to visualize this energy field in the palms of the hands like rivers of energy. And this is our life force, the pranic flow that travels through our energy body. Notice if you can feel it in the wrists and the forearms. Good. Now keeping the eyes closed, let the hands come down. So they're sort of in line with the pubic bones, the lowest chakra. And as you inhale and come up towards the top of the head, in line with that top area, and then exhale. It's nice and slowly, as if you're running your hands through these beautiful points of light. And if you're very sensitive to energy, you may be able to feel it through the fingertips as you travel up and down the body. You're going to let the hands come towards the heart space. This time I want you to turn the palms forwards. And I want you to just very slowly bring the hands out. And you'll find that there is a point, this is very subtle. And then there's a point almost like there's this big bubble around you. See if you can find that energy field. And you sense it not with your intellect. So you're sensing it with the skin and this inner awareness. So some people might see it. You can also imagine it, because with our imagination, the energy follows the thought, and so do a little bit of pushing forwards and then pulling back, and then brush the arms out around you. See if you can follow that energy field. And then back in. Maybe go up. Can you find the bubble all the way up around you? So our higher self sits within the Dwadishanta, and it's a ball of energy above the crown of the head. And then there's another point that goes upwards and upwards and upwards, which connects us into the greater whole that all that is. And we're all connected to that, which is why we're all connected to each other. Nothing is separate. Lovely. Now let the hands come back to the heart space. And I want you to not put the hands on the body, but have them as close as you can. And just move them forwards and back until you sense that funnel shape of the heart chakra. So remember, it's like a big disc, a big circle that's spinning. And it comes inwards, a bit like a tornado or a whirlpool. And the finer filament is where it connects into the physical energy field. And we're going to chant Om, and we're going to use Om to tune the other chakras and to sense them. So we're just going to chant Om each time we bring the hand back to the heart space. So take a breath in. Om. Om. Notice the subtle energy on the palm of the hand nearest the body. Om. Lovely. Now bring another one of your other hand down to the right down to near the pubic bone. So you're not touching it, it's just slightly away from there. And I want you to imagine that there's this beautiful iridescent red energy swirling. So this is the densest chakra, and it connects roots of light down into the earth and connects us into the earth plane. And as you breathe in, I want you to imagine, visualize that you're breathing in at the heart space. It's beautiful green light. And as you exhale, sending energy down the arm to the lowest chakra. So we're filtering everything through the heart space with it, which is unconditional love for yourself. So our root chakra is all about survival, safety, feeling secure, supported. Notice the energy and the hand that's in front of the heart. Feel it vibrating slightly. And if you want to sort of readjust, then just move the hand a little bit further forwards and back so you can find the lip of the chakra. So we're breathing from the heart space to the lower chakra. Unconditional love for ourselves to feel safe. If you bring the lower hand back up to the heart space, let's chant Om again 3 times. Om. 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 Lovely. Now bring the hand that you're using to sense up. We're going to come right above the top of the head. And again, have a little bit of a feel around. And you will sense, you'll start to feel, sometimes it feels tingly. If it's really intense, it can feel like the scalp's a little bit itchy. Just finding the crown chakra. Breathing in at the heart. As you exhale, be aware of that connection to your higher self as your heart space connects up into the higher self, this beautiful ball of golden energy. It's like your personal sun. Could bring the hand back down to the heart. Just retuning again. Take a breath in. Om. 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 Now bring the hand to the sacral chakra. So here I want you to actually feel the heart space, that love, that unconditional love for yourself at the heart space. Breathe in. And as you exhale, pour that down the arm. And I want you to mentally say to yourself, you're safe. You are cared for. So this center is really sensitive. And there's a lot of trauma held in this center. And again, work with the hands. So bring it forwards and back until you can find that energy circling. And don't worry if you don't sense it immediately. Energy work is subtle. And it's like tuning to a new frequency on a radio when you don't know the tuning. You don't know the number. It's not like whatever the FM frequencies are. But you're tuning by a sense of knowing intuitively. So find that space, breathing in at the heart. And as you exhale down into the arm that's sensing, sending that love and compassion to yourself, telling yourself that you're safe, you're held. Be aware of the subtle sensation on the skin of the palm of the hand as you sense the energies. So we have giant chakras in the palms of our hands as well. It may be that you're feeling the vortices moving together. Maybe take the hands a little bit further out, and as you breathe in and out, feel that sense of expanding the energetic field. Keep telling yourself that you're safe, You're held. Lovely. Let's the hand come back up. Let's retune to Om. Take a breath in. Om. 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 Let the hand come up now to the third eye. And again, you're not right near the face. You're just trying to find that really subtle field of energy where that vortex is swirling, and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller as it reaches the physical body, and then it connects this little filament of light into the Ajna chakra center, into the amygdala, the third eye. Breathing at the heart with your awareness, and then sending it up the arm that's sensing the third eye chakra, Ajna. Just keep working with the hand that's sensing, noticing where you feel the chakra moving. Good. Lower the hand back to the heart. Reattune to Om. 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 Good. Lower the hand to the solar plexus so it's just below the heart hand. And again, find the solar plexus energy. This is our personal power center, which is often we give away. So take a deep breath in at the heart space. And as you exhale, pour your awareness down the arm that's sensing. Find the funnel, the lip of the vortex of the chakra. And perhaps say to yourself, I call back my power. When we call back our power, it's really important to place it in the context of how we use it. So when we call back our power, it should be for the benefit of all beings, not just so that we benefit as individuals, but that we gain our own power back so that we're able to help others, not inflict our power upon other people. And we see far too much of that in the world. So just feeling that sense of unconditional love within that power as well. So as you breathe to the heart, pour the unconditional love and that desire to call back your power. And that recognition that we are all equal, all beings, we are all equal. When we recognize that we're all equal, we stop judging ourselves by other people's standards or trying to emulate other people, and we become our true self, and we fulfill our own potential, which is unique to this lifetime for us. Good, bring the hand back up. Let's retune to Om. Take a breath in. Om. 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 Good, let's sense the throat. So in many people, the throat chakra is not really functioning properly. In fact, all of our chakras are a little bit misaligned until you start to really work with the energy. So feel into the throat chakra. So this is where we suppress our truth, because we swallow it, because we feel like we're not allowed to be heard. We're told to be quiet. Our opinion doesn't count. All of this sort of dialogue that is really unhelpful and comes from a place where people want to exert their own power over us. So just feel into that energy. You might find that actually the throat feels quite tingly. And keep moving the hand sort of in and out, just very slightly, almost as if you're palpating that chakra, so you can find the lip of the funnel, the vortex, and be aware of that energy there. And breathe into the heart space. Feel that unconditional love for yourself, and that actually your voice matters. And as you exhale, breathe that unconditional love it up into the hand that's sensing the chakra, and give it the love. And be aware of your voice, and maybe make a little bit of sound. So this is how we come to speak our light language. It starts by just feeling a sound. So it might be a and feel it coming from the heart. So you're breathing into the heart, you're sensing yourself there. And maybe the mouth opens and there's more of a something else coming out. So I'm just going to bring in a few codes for the throat chakra. Inomoro motus yonoate, yesiatu tukumoroate naha, es yonoaha ye ye, hewaya nahana hana, hewaya nahana, hewaya no horo no yono no yana 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 yana, hewaya na yana yana, hewaya na yana yana, hewaya na yana yana. So just feel into your own sound. Make a little bit of sound, whatever it is. Lovely. Bring the hands back to the heart space. Let's chant Om. 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 Let me know, because we've worked a lot on the chakras tonight, we're going to energetically let them close so it keeps our energy field protected. So bring the hands over the front of the lowest chakra and imagine just closing a little door. Whatever that looks like for you is fine. So mine is a circular door. It's like a little hobbit hole. I'm going to close it just gently, and then up, and then up, And when you get to the throat chakra, just a little closing at the heart. And then here, the throat, third eye. And then we're going to just take our hands here and sort of do this sort of movement where you're allowing that higher self to collect at the head. And then I want you to just bring it down through the whole body. Guided by your higher self. Come all the way down to the feet. Drop the arms. Imagine that you're stroking a golden energy into you through the ribs, around the back of the body. And then just to complete the practice, bring the hands to the side of the body. Imagine they're just dipped in the waters of Mother Earth, and you're going to inhale and pull up a blue bubble all around you. Protection shield. Good. Now, from the higher self, you're going to bring a golden light down from way above the higher self, which is the all that is, sometimes called Father Sky. Breathe in and pull down this beautiful shield of golden metal. So you're in a ball of energy. And then take one of your arms, take it all the way over your head as if you're dropping mirrors all around that ball. And then the other arm, do the same thing, sprinkle the mirrors all the way around. So you're now sitting in this big disco ball that has 3 layers to it: mirrors, gold, blue. Bring the hands to the heart space. Inhale, sit the arms all the way out. And exhale down through the midline and just bow the head to the heart. And namaste. Thank you for joining me.